Hello, United Rogue Overwatch. We're back for another banger. I told you I'd be back. This time we've got Montreal versus the Kansas City Carnage. I'm Storm221, joined by my good Miami teammate and close friend, Dragon Master.
Hello, everyone.
And we're here to bring you some banger Emerald gameplay now.
Yep. And we were asked to tell the people the KCC has forfeited map 1. So we are starting on round 2.
Took a little bit too long for some people to show up, and but Montreal is going to start up one game. So we're going to be starting on game 2. Not really. I don't think this should affect KCC's mental too much. I think they're just going to go into this like it's a clean slate.
Yeah.
And just run some hands.
The KCC team is looking a little stronger since Soup joined it. Especially on that tank. We played him last week.
I agree. That's definitely one of the big. That's definitely a huge addition to that team, and he can play around. He can play support and tank as well, depending on what the team needs. So he's a very flexible player, and it looks like we're going to be starting game 2 at Surabasa.
Yep. However, this team is very strong, especially with Asura Sakura looking like they're subbing in. Just a very strong Mercy player. Sub. Very strong Mercy player.
Good Mercy player, can play other supports as well.
Yeah. She also subbed up in Ruby for Buffalo a couple games ago. So, but this team is really strong. I'm interested to see whether Chris or Tracer is gonna start on tank. We saw how the Tracer tank worked like a week ago when we casted, right?
Mm-hmm. And then didn't work out quite as well the next time against Pitt again. But that's because they played into Pitt 2 times in a row, and Pitt was a lot more ready. I don't think KCC has ever seen the Tracer Racer tank, so that's going to be a new thing for them.
That's true. Yeah. We'll see what they do against it. And it looks like
I'd heard from a little birdie that Pitt had been VODing a lot, and were very prepared for that matchup.
I think they did a VOD review with Liam in the Ruby League.
So it looks like we're starting with Chris on tank on the Orisa, Tracer Racer on DPS. Ooh. And Booger Bear is playing, actually. That's not something we see very often, but we got Booger Bear and Asura Sakura on the support. And we've got, looks like Far Mercy from the Asura Sakura. Oh, please. I was talking to a Soup earlier. He said he really wanted to play ball, and if his team would let him, he would be playing ball.
Ooh.
So I'm very excited to see this. It looks like he's running it. You got Juno Anna, Brig Anna now. It looks like Crystalberg was just getting that speed ring out there, and then swapping off to the actual Brig pick.
He's hanging above. It looks like nobody's noticed.
He's hanging. He's letting. Oh, there's a big slam. It gets the Anna and the
Anti. They got both their cooldowns out.
Sojourn. It gets the Anna and the Sojourn, but not quite going to be able to get anything yet. Godkiller getting really low and falls to Chris.
Kind of playing this.
It looks like KCC's kind of just trying to stabilize. Soup in there, taking that aggro, trying to relieve some pressure off of his team. As Godkiller tries to return. Who is back now.
Soup's in there. He got 3.
Soup's still in there, but he gets torched. He got hit by that javelin, and then just his health bar just completely exploded. And
from there, it's a cleanup.
Yeah, from there, it's light work for Chris with a K and Parasite.
Tracer
and Soup immediately off of
this Mercy Farah. This is
Soup immediately off of the Wrecking Ball onto the Diva, and Crystal Burb also making a swap over to Baptiste, and Godkiller making a swap to Sombra. So we've got a lot of changes on the side of KCC.
Well, they need to do something to counter this Far Mercy.
Yeah. But it looks like Montreal has pretty good control at this point, unless they try and go for a touch.
Number is
God
low.
Killer tries to get out. He barely does get out. And it looks like they're going to try and fight for this point. But the Pharah is kind of just eating their backline, and now has a big ulti coming up from Tracer Racer. Couldn't find a way to get rid of the immortality field in time, but still...
They're up, though. Soup was really low. God Killer's in the back there.
Yeah, that's going to be a Montreal. That's going to be a Montreal point here. And they're going to stagger Soup hard.
And then they get... God Killer's the only one that's left. I don't think anybody else can touch in time. No.
Oh, barely not able to reveal God Killer, and he's going to be able to escape.
But it doesn't matter. They get the point, and we're moving on. It looks like to the left side. We can't, as the casters, see where we're going. But
we've got a Nano. We've got an Orisa ult on the side of Montreal. We've got Nevro with the Junkrat ult. Soup almost very close to bomb. Crystal Burba on to the Kiriko now. Oh, that's a big boot from Tracer Racer. Janitor's gonna fall.
That's huge.
And Soup goes up and quickly dispatches of the threat. God Killer takes out Parasite, and now all of a sudden
things are turning around. But
I was gonna say KCC is up, but Parasite getting res is gonna throw some. Oh,
Booger falls low. Booger falls. That's a big pick. Soup falls really low.
But Soup is gonna fall. He has bomb though. And Chris is gonna get taken out by that bomb. Janitor and on one singular health.
Parasite falls, but not before they get 50%.
50% is big, but these percentages do go up very quickly. So if KCC can just hunker down here, get a little bit of stall even, then ooh, Parasite actually swaps onto the Symmetra to help deal with this diva. Oh, and God Killer gets revealed immediately as he goes in Viz. Nanoed onto Chris with a K. Here comes the EMP. Chris with a K falls. And Asurasaka is going to go for the res, but is going to get hacked and explode. Along with the rest of their team. Crystal Burp does fall to the Tracer Racer, though.
Tracer falls
but
low.
It's really only Tracer Racer.
God Killer is like one. It looks like, is he getting healed? No. Really low,
no,
though.
because the Baptiste is looking at Booger Bear, who was also very, very low. Just to try and clean up that kill. Montreal might be able to get another touch here if Chris with the K decides to push.
He needs to wait.
It looks like he's kind of second guessing. He's gonna get hacked. He's gonna get there.
He falls,
but he's gonna fall before he can pop his ulti.
But they do get the overtime. Let's see if they walk in. No.
Yeah, they will. Tracer Racer falls. Asura Sakura falls. That Far Mercy duo falls, and that's it.
And I don't know where we're going next. I think we're going all the way to the right.
And Chris with a K swapping onto the Ramatra. Soup did in fact swap to Zarya, which is what we saw from him against Miami when we played on Servasa. And it was very, very effective. So we're going to see if he can work it to that same effectiveness that he did against us. Especially with that Pharah, he's going to be at a really high charge a lot of the time if he's playing it right. And Chris with a K kind of just pushing up in alone. He's just kind of
popping the ult. Did she get anybody? No, but she
able to get Nebro afterwards. Soup falling really low, but he's going to get healed. Chris with a K hacked out of his block. He gets really low, but has a shield up. And getting healed by that Mercy, slowly but surely. And Tracer Racer back in with the Pharah, backs out immediately afterwards once seeing Soup is there. And we've got a rush on the side of KCC, so they can definitely pop this at any time. Like I said, and as I say it, I speak it into existence. Immortal field out. But Crystal Burp does fall.
Oh.
But Tracer Racer's also going to fall. That's going to be a big tire.
Oh, and the cleanup from there.
And Parasite's going to get staggered. Yep.
But they got 56%.
I mean, they got 50% last time and lost the point, so 56. It's pretty obvious. I feel like that 56% doesn't mean much with how fast these percentages go up.
That's true. we'll see if they recollect and regroup.
We do have an EMP and a grab up on the side, but Nevro.
But he gets res,
Nevro. Yeah, but
They
that
do
burns
waste
the
that
res
early.
cooldown, so they can't use that if they need it later. Soup back down to 0%. It's probably going to be looking for somewhere to.
That's a big Immor force. Pop
Oh,
grab.
that's
Get one.
Oh, but the Parasite's gonna hold the high noon. Is gonna take out Soup.
It's another.
Tanks are down. Booger Bear pops ulti to try and keep up everybody. Nevro falls, and it looks like Montreal's gonna flip this point.
The mercy diff. Sakura pulled out the Barbie blaster. Took matters into her own hands.
So KCC is gonna get one more touch. And Chris playing up pretty far, trying to hold that space and just poke out. He does have ulti, so he is probably prepared to pop that defensively if he needs it. Oh, and there's the EMP. But he falls before he can do anything, and Nevro had another tire ready. That was a really quickly built tire, and that's going to turn the tables on this fight. Nevro killing 3.
Well,
and flipping the point back for KCC.
They need to come back quick. I don't even know if they have time to touch.
I don't think they are definitely not going to get a touch here. There's no time. Unless Booger Bear can get in there somehow, but he gets booped back by Junkrat, and that's going to be it.
That was a big boop. Big boop blocking him.
That was a big mine from Nevro, booping Booger Bear back and completely stopping his momentum from the Moira fade.
Let's see, where are they going next? They're going over here.
And despite a pretty dominant looking first point, KCC's brought it back and is now up 2-1 in this Flashpoint game.
Well, looking at alt economy here, looks like really on the side of KCC, they really only have maybe Kiri alt, and then they have like 2 alts almost on the side of MTL. We'll see.
There is a Chris. Oh, and he has Space Force to pop his ulti to live. But he does catch a lot of people in it, but he just keeps getting booped around. He just keeps getting knocked around by that Junkrat, and he's just not able to hold W for very long before getting sent backwards. Montreal is down 1, but it's definitely winnable still for them if they can keep this up. However, a big grab is going to come out from Soup. And that's going to be it. Ooh, Parasite does pick off Soup, though.
But not
Parasite
before
picks 2.
They hack him? No. Right. Okay, they killed him.
That was a good headshot from Crystal Burb to get Parasite low, and God Killer and Janitor Spray kind of just finished him off.
MTL always seems to get this,
he does have a bomb here.
MTL always seems to get this 50% and then chokes the last little bit. Let's see if they take shape.
Sakura falling really low before the teams all together, and Chris is also pushing in. They're forced to use Bionade to help save Chris here.
Yep. Let's see what happens. They're walking in through this small choke. Let's see if that works out for them. They get through.
MTL does have 3 ultis to burn here. Oh, but Asura Sakura falls. But here comes the Tracer Racer Death Blossom.
Gets 1.
Nevro kills Parasite with the Rip Tire, but doesn't seem like it's going to mean much. God Killer falls to Chris with a K, coming up from behind.
He's going in. He's going out.
He's going in. He's just running their supports down right now.
He is like, you get out of here. This is my space.
But KCC has gotten back. Booger Bear popping the Coalescence pretty early, just to try and hold this space. Let's see if they get a touch. Nevro on a mission, and he gets there. That's a big EMP.
They pop window, and they get. Oh my goodness, they get 4.
That was big.
And it's just
they get 4, and down goes Parasite.
And they have this time they might have a touch.
They will have a touch. I believe they will have a touch. Booger Bear swaps onto the Brigitte now. Or was he on Brigitte after? Because I saw Asura Sakura on Ana. I didn't give a good look at Booger Bear though. Oh, and here comes a defensive rush from Crystal Burb.
I think he was more
trying to hold this space and stop them from doing anything. And they're not going to get a touch.
No.
Chris falls, and that's going to be it. And map KCC. 2 goes to KCC. And now we're all evened up. 1-1.
Play of the game.
And a big
And
play of the
Soup with
game
the
coming out
play.
from Soup here.
Is it the triple Graviton Surge, maybe? No? It's just... I think it's just him beaming people.
It would appear so. Yeah, good job from KCC to recollect after that first point and pull it back.
Well, I think that they realized that the ball comp wasn't working, and then they swapped to like the Zarya, and from there it worked. Like they just kind of played together, got charge, and ticked off their supports.
Yeah, it was a kind of short-lived diva attempt, and it was working for the most part, but the Zarya was definitely the play. Even after the Reinhardt swap, he was still playing it really well. But now I'm curious to see where MTL takes them.
We will see. I'm interested to see if they have the same comp, or maybe Tracer goes on the tank, or what's gonna happen. I know when
We'll
Tracer
see,
was on the tank and
because
Chris
MTL
was
is
on...
missing.
Sorry, you go.
I was just saying MTL is missing 2 of their main players, so they may not be comfortable with putting Tracer Racer on the tank, since that's a relatively new thing as far as my knowledge goes.
Yeah, I forget exactly. I know they're missing...
They're missing Dead Inside.
Yeah, Dead Inside, and then they're missing... Let me look at their team.
Oh, we got a pause. They're missing Dead Inside and Calaho.
Calaho, right. He's the Moira player usually. Those are 2 big teammates that they're actually missing. They usually put in work every game.
Alright, it was just a pause to see if everybody was ready. It appears. We're gonna get into it.
We went in. It's fine. And we're on New Queen Street. And we'll see what these teams run. I imagine they'll probably stick to what they were running before. With the exception of maybe Tracer, maybe on tank. We'll see.
Yeah. We will indeed. I'm gonna assume Soup's gonna stick on the tank, because that's just been working really well for them.
I mean, Soup just kind of gathers charge, bubbles well, you know, keeps his team alive. Tracer on the Torbjorn.
Starting on the diva. Why is there a Torbjorn on my screen? Yeah, it looks like they're gonna be sticking with the same with the same roles at the very least. Or we do have a Monkey Torbjorn Sombra comp, which is interesting to say the least.
Why are you running Okay, I guess the Torb is for back.
Let's go. It's big Torbjorn time. I want to see some hammer kills. Let's go.
And
Let's see it.
Running
I believe.
Diva to begin.
Yep. Along with Nevro on the Sojourn. And everybody else pretty much on their comfort picks, it seems.
Yeah. God Killer falls super low. He gets out though.
And Parasite actually mirroring the God Killer Sombra as well. Chris with a K. He's building up that damage. He's already 43 to a primal.
Yep, he went in early, got God Killer low, and then started farming off the
both teams kind of just poking each other out, looking for
Tracer does get a pick
any opening, but Tracer, the turret gets a pick on the God Killer.
For MVP. Oh,
and Chris with a K goes in, but he's gonna get
super
melted
low
by the Sojourn, but barely lives. It feels like a lot of people on Montreal have been going low. It's just
no
it feels like a lot of people on Montreal have been really low. It's just they're not dying.
Well, that's the important part.
Because now 4 people on Montreal now looking very low, and none of them are falling as Soup gets demech.
Oh, Booger does
fall to God Killer now.
Chris is pushing his
some progress on the side of KCC, and Chris overextends. And Soup is able to get back in the mech. That's big.
Tracer falls.
Tracer falls in the middle of Molten Core. Yeah, and it looks like Montreal's being forced to back up. However,
Sakura
Sombra
falls.
is not going to let Asura Sakura escape with her life.
That's a big stagger. They do have Nano though. For next fight. And it looks like they're about to take the lead. Maybe they touch.
Oh, no, Montreal gets in there.
Just in
Here
time.
comes a rally from Booger Bear.
Rally. He's beating up on that
And
diva.
Chris with a K also in Primal on Nevro currently. Oh, but they don't. They stop touching.
He tries to get their back line, and in doing so, lets
And
them
Chris with a K, despite the cookies from Booger Bear, unable to live, and Booger Bear falls shortly after. Down goes Parasite. Asura Sakura looking really low and under siege by Soup's Diva. And that's another team kill for KCC here. Chris with a K swapping immediately onto the Zarya for the counter pick.
doing something. And KCC has 5 ults to Montreal's 2.
Yeah, KCC is looking really good.
And they got forward spawn too.
They do have, Montreal does have 2 very impactful ults, however. They have EMP, they have Nano.
That's true.
So if Chris with a K can get up to even 50 charge and get a Nano, he can do some serious damage.
That's true, but he needs to bait out some of these ults.
But also KCC does get forward spawn, and that's big. Soup falling really low, and there goes the EMP, and that's gonna stop Soup from being able to Diva ult to rematch.
Oh wait, there's the EMP.
Now here comes an answering EMP.
There's the window. There's so many ults.
Oh, but Chris with a K.
Dark color falls.
Jumps
Chris
behind the window.
He gets 2 though. And
It's
now
a
his team is
3v1.
pushed up. It's just the Kiri.
And Christopher is gonna try and 1v1 Parasite here, but Parasite putting the schmooze.
2v1
Never
again.
mind.
Sakura comes in to save the day.
Well, not
Says,
quite.
"No, you're not
Parasite
1v1."
still falls, but
No. Alright, well,
Soup is back,
Soup now swaps
mirroring the
Zarya.
Zarya. You think this is do you think this is a bit of an ego pick here?
probably. Soup does pride himself for one of the best Zaryas. He loves Zarya.
Oh. There's the Zarya with the nano boost at 81 charge. Soup has a lot of charge himself, though.
He runs
Up
in,
to 100 now.
he's maxed. And Chris falls super low. He gets biotic nade
Chris
though.
really low.
Chris taking all that damage.
And now
His backline falls low. He needs to go back.
Yeah, as Soup kind of just holding that staircase as Montreal supports tried to push up, he just kept pushing them back. And now he rotates around.
Tracer falls. Chris.
Yeah, despite the
Oh, he gets the
overdrive,
grab,
but here
but
comes
I don't know if he can make use of it.
grab, but it doesn't look like it's gonna kill anybody.
No, the Suzu kind of saved them. And
Yeah,
it rushed.
Suzu and a lot of kills, a lot of rushing, just a lot of everything, a lot of kitsunes flying on my screen right now.
And I mean, Booger. Okay, Chris swaps. He's like, I can't beat you.
He swaps to Reinhardt. He can't deal with the Zarya mirror.
No.
So he says, I'm gonna play my comfort pick now. And KCC getting that forward spawn back now. And Soup probably looking for a big grab here. I can feel it. He can feel it. He can feel it in his bones. Oh,
There
he
it is.
grabs.
He grabs.
But it doesn't.
He hops in, but then holds shield. Only
Oh,
Parasite
the
falls.
shield couldn't protect Parasite.
No,
He ended up being too high.
They're beating up on the Zarya. Zarya falls super low, gets bubbled.
Oh,
But Chris
but he's
falls.
not gonna fall.
Soup saving his cooldowns perfectly to try and kill him. They get another one, then they fall. Soup is putting on
Man,
work
Montreal just can't catch a break here. It feels like they get people so low and then they just never can fall.
I feel like the main issue is that Chris kind of pushes a little bit ahead, and then his supports are kind of left behind, and then Soup just kind of takes advantage of that space and pushes in. And Chris is back.
Chris barely missing that charge behind
Soup.
Soup. And we're getting awfully close, and
There's the EMP
but that's a
though.
big ult from Parasite, but a
Never
big
gets
bubble from
bubbled,
Soup. Save.
Soup falls super low, but that's his only bubble. He falls high though. Okay. There comes the Tor ball. This is my space. Push back. Tank needs to come back
But
here.
Soup doing a really good job of weaving in between the puddles of magma.
Oh,
And there's a big EMP from Godkiller.
Chris can't catch a break here.
Comes the grab.
There's a grab. The rest of the team falls, and it looks like unless maybe Para can touch here. Now Chris is back.
Nope.
He's gonna touch.
Chris is
Stop
back,
him.
and he almost has a shatter, but he's not going to be able to get it, and that's a team kill and a full push from KCC. So they said, hey, you guys can have that. You guys can have that first game. You guys, you guys can have that forfeit win. We're going to take a 2-1 lead, though, and force it to match point.
Now,
Soup again with play of the game. This guy's putting in so much work right now.
Soup is like weaving, like I said earlier, Soup is like taking advantage of the fact that Chris pushes up a little bit early when his team is not necessarily ready, and he goes into the back line, pressures them out, and forces them to stop looking at his tank.
And I think Chris is also just looking at Zarya a little bit too much. I think he needs to focus on the other targets more than he's focusing on the Zarya.
Yeah, if he focuses on the supports, I think they can kill the Zarya. But we'll see. I mean, this is their final match. They get to pick their map.
In theory.
Where they take them.
If Montreal does not.
Well, this is map point. I mean.
It's match point, yes. Ooh. I don't know. Maybe we see Montreal has worked magic in the past.
They have
and
reverse
this isn't quite, wouldn't quite be a reverse sweep. It would be in the same vein of a reverse sweep.
We'll see what they do. They had to pick a map, maybe swap.
Perhaps they go with the Tracer Racer on the tank, putting Chris on the DPS. Chris definitely can put in work, especially on that Hanzo.
Yeah.
Kate calling for a prediction in chat.
Oh yeah,
Don't let him spend his channel points. We need the gamble. I'm curious to see where MTL decides to take this though.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you wanna play like a map where you can like dive. You know, you wanna make it a map where Zarya can't thrive. You know, because if you can get the Zarya out of position and force them to like either not be able to see their supports or not be able to get the high ground, you can go and dive and take advantage of the fact that Zarya doesn't have movement. So they haven't played a escort, right?
Correct, and it looks like we're running into circuit, so we're probably going to be seeing some Widowmaker gameplay here.
Yep. Well, I imagine they'll see. Oh, Soup says no.
I think Soup's trolling. We're gonna see potentially a God Killer versus Parasite Widow 1v1.
Yep. I think that usually God Killer in the past when we played him on this map, he played Sombra. So we'll see if he runs the Widow. Yeah, because I remember he ran Widow at the beginning, and then he definitely
does have a Widow in his back pocket, at the very least.
I remember he started Widow in our match, and then he swapped to Sombra pretty quickly when we stopped peeking him.
I think we might see some of the same.
Looks like KCC opts for attack.
Welcome to Circuit Royale. Initiating match.
Here we are, Circuit Royale, the beautiful country of Monaco.
We got the F1
I love that. Thematically, I love this map because they've done so much cool stuff with it, and they've put the Formula One-esque car as the payload.
And Tracer Racer
and Booger Bear on tank. That's not something we were expecting, I don't think. But it's different, so we'll see. Tracer Racer, Asura Sakura on the Mercy Alari.
Interesting.
Interesting heal comp.
And
it could definitely work.
Godkiller is on the
No,
the
yeah, Godkiller is on Widowmaker. So we do have at least one Widowmaker here. And we have Soup
This is Widow's
also
map.
on Sigma.
Yep. This is the
So we're
Sigma.
going to see some good old-fashioned Sigma mirroring.
5, 4,
Crystal Burb swapping to Lifeweaver. Perhaps they're going for some goofy tech at the start. It looks like it's there mostly to push Soup up to the high ground and for him just to drop off again and Crystal Burb to swap off Kiriko. Not sure why they did that, but you know, I'm not them. Maybe it's some superstitious stuff. We'll see. Yeah, high level tech.
Yeah.
Soup falling really low to start. Godkiller not really seeming to be able to get any picks here.
Booger gets that cross map rock.
Stop the payload. Enemy over here.
See, Sakura opting to use this new room that they've added.
I don't mind it. It gives her some cover and lets her damage boost Booger Bear for pretty much just getting uncontested, pretty much.
Eyes on the sniper.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like they want to push
I was
this
gonna
high
fly
room.
over.
I wonder.
Yeah, it
They
doesn't
know about
seem like they're too interested in taking the high ground. Just it doesn't seem like they're too interested in taking high ground at all. As Parasite and Tracer Racer both fall.
Big picks.
Down goes Chris with a
Going
K2.
after. Soup is going in. He's like, this
Soup
is my
is playing Sigma.
I am the Sigma here.
Dodges the rock.
He's kind of gaming.
And Asura Sakura getting pretty low. Not quite gonna fall though. Parasite swapping off to the Widow for the mirror. But KCC kind of just gets this first point for free. It feels like they didn't really try and challenge it very much. Montreal.
I feel like Montreal's in a little bit of a pickle here because they don't really have their main team comp, you know? Like two of their best players are gone.
Yeah, as we're
well, I say
talking
best
about
players,
that though,
but-
Chris with a K and Parasite start playing video games. They kill
they're gaming.
3. Oh! And Tracer Racer with a late pick on Crystal Burb, Chris with a K onto Soup, and that's going to be a full reset. And a pretty big stagger, but Godkiller does pick off Chris with a K.
The resing.
Oh, and Godkiller, I think,
Yeah.
looking for that Mercy, but Asura Sakura doing a really good job of staying out of that Widow sightline for the res.
300 hours plus of Mercy will do that for you.
And, ooh! I was gonna say, Parasite going up, looking for a big hook.
Soup.
Oh,
Oh,
here
Soup
comes
he's using the shield in the air. Big intelligent move.
But here comes the counter. Here comes the counter flux. It's gonna get Soup. Soup's gonna
Perhaps
fall really
get
low,
Immor,
but that's a
though.
big Immor field.
Soup falls really low again,
Soup's still falling really low under siege from this Sojourn.
but he gets back out and he still dies. Parasite
Oh, but
picks
Soup
him up.
finally falls. It honestly was looking for a second there, like Soup just wasn't gonna die.
I think he wouldn't have, but Parasite managed to pick off right at the end. I don't think he had shield either.
And Tracer Racer coming up on an orbital ray, but here comes.
Parasite gets picked off by Godkiller. And there goes.
Here comes a Riptire.
Fire,
Riptire's
fire.
not gonna get anybody though.
No.
A little bit of a waste, but it's all right. And here
I don't
comes
know,
the
Immortal Base, there's the
ulti
orbital
from-
ray. They kind of got to back up. They use Immor Field to kind of kite it,
and Suzu. No more immortality abilities.
but they did live through the Immor, and they
Here comes the counter window,
window
and Montreal is
I don't know.
wisely going to back off and try and kite this.
Yeah, and they rush though. Using both support ults is a little bit questionable in the same fight, but it got them progress.
Yeah, it did give them a decent, quite a bit of space using the BAP wall or the BAP window to force Montreal back. Soup gets rocked and gets his rock shielded, but still kind of just poking at each other at the moment. Booger Bear trying to make some progress as Chris with K falls to Nevro.
Tracer late reach is really low. She does get healed up though. Parasite gets the janitor.
Come here for healing.
And Godkiller Posting up down low, Booger Bear pressuring her out. Here comes an ulti from Soup, but it doesn't get anybody.
Does
And
Booger get...
another two flux is not hitting anybody. We got the double whip on the Sigma ults. Soup falling really low.
What do you
God
call
Killer
that?
trying to find somewhere to shoot, but can't really find much. And now Booger Bear pressuring down that left side again. Not really giving God Killer an opportunity, but Chris falls to Nevro again.
Fell in the trap, got comboed.
And God Killer also falling really low here, but getting back for some heals. Here comes the Mercy ult. Booger Bear falling really low. Crystal Bird picking off Parasite.
That's a big tag.
And here comes the
And
tire.
Vicious falls, Tire
Bang!
gets, ooh! And they get point.
And they get the point and get the stagger on Booger Bear. Well, not quite a stagger because of group wave respawn, but Tracer Racer and Parasite. Actually, everybody's pretty well together. Considering how apart everybody died, I thought they were going to be a lot more staggered, but they're actually not looking too bad on that front.
No, I think
They also almost have Chris with a K ult and a Juno ult.
Soup using a shield really well to block these Sigma rocks.
I think both of them are doing, both Booger Bear and Soup are doing pretty good jobs of keeping themselves off of the floor.
We'll see.
As we just saw there. And they're all kind of forced into this area, which is going to give Soup a lot of ult charge.
Soup does get one.
Sojourn
Booger
fars,
Bear kills
Booger Bear
God Killer.
kills God Killer though. And Parasite kind of just poking at this shield right now, but he does get low and have to fall back, possibly to the Kiriko.
There's the Sigma.
Oh, and here comes an ulti
Get
from
anybody?
Soup.
Doesn't get anybody.
Looking for somebody, can't find anybody though. Oh, and the Maywall blocking off the rock. And here comes an
And there goes
ulti from
three.
Booger Bear. He gets
Three.
two. Oh,
The
three
early
actually.
Suzu.
Soup
Early
falls.
Suzu.
Oh, Crystal Bird.
falls
Oh,
low.
he misses the shots on the
Get
rock.
that.
Chris on Crystal Bird, who's on the floor, but he picks off Janitor as compensation here.
Crystal Bird falling low
Tracer
again.
Racer
Crystal
kills God
Bird
Killer.
missed, though.
Chris with a K falling though.
So we're hitting these knives. Sakura reses it though.
And Soup onto the Zarya now, onto the comfort pick. Here comes the
Soup does
rush.
get walled off though. Use bubble.
Crystal Bird falling dangerously low here, but
She
is
healed
gonna get
back
up.
though. The rush. Putting
Oh,
it
and
work.
there's another bubble to
Giving
stop the
him phase.
rock from Booger Bear. Booger Bear shield's broken, so that's gonna
There's
give
Juno
Soup a chance
ult.
to push in. Here comes the Juno ult,
Soup falls low.
and Soup
And
is
Tire-
nanoed with 100
Tire-
Big
Booger-
tire on the
wait.
Chris with a
Booger
K.
killed himself. Wait. Didn't they remove self-damage? How did he die?
Oh, they didn't remove self-damage on the rock.
Oh, okay.
So I believe he hit himself with the rock. And Booger Bear onto the Reinhardt now to counter the Zarya, but gets immediately slept and antied. Here comes
Booger
the
for
Chris
fall.
with the K. He couldn't.
Chris gets
Oh,
no
kills.
So low. It's Soup.
And Soup just putting in so much work
Rocker
right now.
trying to touch, putting overtime. She got the moves.
Oh my
Look at this
moving
move.
around from those dead souls, moving around those dead souls, but unfortunately, not going to be able to stall long enough for her team to get back, and that's a full push coming out from KCC.
0 to 3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
So not quite one-sided, but KCC definitely looked to be in the driver's seat for a lot of that match.
Yeah.
Although
I think
Montreal did very good to hold them to overtime.
Yeah, I think what's happening is that Swoop is just like taking advantage of their mistakes more, if that makes sense. Like he's taking advantage of the fact that they miss an ability or they take a little bit too much space, and then he kind of goes in and takes that space.
Booger Bear sticking the. Oh, never mind. He's on the Doom Fist.
The Doomfist.
I'm ready to see some Doomfist gameplay. As far as KCC goes, we've got pretty much the same comp. Junkrat, Widow, Sig, Ana, Kiri. Chris with a K onto the Pharah, Tracer Racer onto the Life Weaver.
Wait,
Asura Sakura deciding to stay on the Mercy. And Parasite
Mercy
on the...
Wait, are they gonna try the
Oh,
over the
he swaps.
strat?
Freak!
Wait, he's on a freak hazard.
4, 3,
Maintaining damage boost.
All right, let's see. Let's
Are
see
they
what
gonna do the,
goofy
like, over the
strategies.
wall
I
strat?
think they're going over the wall, maybe.
spot the payload.
That's what it's looking like. Yep.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Only 2 of them got it, but okay, it's fine. They have flyers. Oh, Sakura doesn't make it though.
Barry is gonna get stunned. Chris with a K is gonna get picked pretty early.
That's unfortunate. Sakura didn't get. Oh, Sakura gets picked.
Oh, Sakura falls. Parasite does get God Killer though. Oh, but now Booger Bear gets trapped. Holding that block, dodges the rock, gets life grip. Oh, but it's not. He's not gonna be able to stop Tracer Racer from eating those Sig rocks or those Sig bullets. Well, as Booger Bear eats a rock and immediately falls. Asura Sakura does res Tracer Racer, but Parasite falling dangerously low just after the recall. But he's safe.
And they gotta wait for the regroup. He goes Rhine.
I don't mind the swap. Ryan into Sigma is definitely very good. However, playing into the Junkrat and the Widowmaker is going to be a little bit of a pain.
Yeah, especially.
Well, he got trapped on the flower? What the?
Yeah, it looked like it
That
canceled.
was a weird interaction. Oh, Parasite falls to Nevro. Booger Bear gets rocked as this cart keeps getting pushed though.
Booger
He
Bear
takes
using
the flower up the high ground.
This is mine.
Thanks for the assist.
My high ground.
And KCC falling back, giving up a little bit of space. Booger Bear is still really low though, not really getting much heals.
No, I mean you got Mercy.
As I say that, we get it. Oh! And Chris with a K gets slapped before that ulti can do much damage, but Crystal Burp gets booped, but it's not gonna fall.
Soup gets nanoed though. Trying to get
Soup gets
someone.
nanoed and the grab doesn't really do much.
But the tree is doing work. He's kind of getting beat up on right now.
Yeah, Soup's kind of just in there. Soup's kind of just in there alone with a tree, and he is going to fall. There's no amount of healing that can heal from all
And
of
Nevro
that.
gets
But
two
Nevro
with
gets
fire.
both supports.
And now it's just Booger.
Just
He has
Booger
to
Bear and
keep
Parasite. Booger Bear gets slapped.
If
Parasite does pick off God Killer though. Oh, and as Booger Bear tries to swing for the trap, Nevro takes advantage and kills him. And
a minute
Parasite
and a half
falling to
remaining
Janitor.
there. Soup going to ball. I think it's probably for the touch. We'll see,
Potentially, but they're close enough to the point where I don't think they need it. I think he's just going that to
For fun.
because he doesn't want to deal with the Sig Ryan matchup.
That's true.
He's hanging. He's waiting to see who's coming over. Tracer Racer onto the Lucio. And here he goes, drops onto the Pharah. The Pharah is very low, but gets the Mercy. And ooh, looking for a boop onto the Reinhardt. Barely doesn't get it. The Reinhardt's really low though. Oh, he gets pinned and hacked. Oh my goodness. How does he live that? How did Soup live that?
He got Suzu'd and uses he's killing
They gave him everything. Oh, but a big shatter.
and a rush.
No more supports on the side of KCC, but their tank does fall. And now they're gonna have to try and find a way to deal with this ball.
Soup just like holding it. Trying to hold it for as long as possible. He's still alive.
Falling down to 172.
I think
And
he's
there aren't
trying
enough
to keep
people
it
to get a meaningful
Wait.
amount. Oh, he's gonna get a touch though.
Wait, they just didn't push it in the time he was gone. That's weird. But it's fine. He's low. How is he not
Soup
dead?
is very low, but he has
He got Sombra.
a
Okay.
Bionade, and Chris with a K says, I've had enough of you. I'm going to ult you, and you are going to die. But it doesn't get them. It's 0.13. Pushing to overtime, but they get it.
I mean, Soup is making them work for
Never
this.
killing
point.
Tracer Racer. Yeah. Soup with a very, very good stall. And forcing out a Pharah ult to deal with it too.
But
Now
if
the
you
only-
notice,
only
they
real-
have a
they
Ryan.
have two
They have a
ults.
Ryan. They have a Fire Mercy, but like the Lucio is like they don't really have much of a heal for the Ryan, so the Ryan kind of has to just sit there and shield butt.
Yeah, Mercy Lucio is definitely not an optimal Ryan heal comp. As this big slam from Soup gets 3, Booger Bear misses the charge, unfortunately. He's going to get hacked, but he's fine now. Drops his
Okay.
drops the mines.
Soup gets EMP'd. Doesn't matter.
Whoa, but a big nano coming out to save Soup's life.
Yep.
As he gets a bunch of boops.
God Killer falls to 1, but he gets out, it looks like.
Man. It feels like Montreal's just really
he
struggling
fell.
to secure some of these kills, but down goes God Killer as I say that. Oh, Booger Bear getting the pin in, but now he's really far in. Is making his teammate have to push up.
That's fine. They got
falling really low. He's gonna fall too.
Soup's in the back line. They get the res though.
Oh,
On
Soup
Parasite.
in the back line. Yep.
They're swinging on him. He gets another pile driver.
Oh, and Booger Bear
Really
purple.
low.
So he wasn't able to get any heals.
Oh, big shatter!
That's a
Oh!
fat shatter. That's a huge shatter from Booger Bear. Even though he falls,
It's fine.
that was
He
a
got 3.
humongous shatter. The shatter that killed the dinosaurs. However, Soup on the ball is going to touch. Still, their job is not done. They still have a little bit of work to do before they get this point. God Killer forced to retreat, and it looks like they have it. Now 2 minutes to push this cart to completion. God Killer falling down to Parasite. Reinhardt slowly but surely getting healed up here. Oh, Asura Sakura falling really low to some straight Junkrat mines. I think they were meant for Parasite, and Asura Sakura kind of just flew into their explosion path. But is going to get the res here.
It's fine. They're pushing cart here, kind of giving up space. You gotta wait for their team to recover. Parasite's in there.
Oh,
Gets 1. Parasite does fall to God Killer though. God Killer
and now
does
it's a 3v4. And Reinhardt just not going to have the heals he needs to sustain for that long. He holds his shield.
Yeah. Oh, he does pin. Super low. He's kind of just using this cart as cover the best
Oh,
he
that's a
can.
big EMP.
Big EMP. Big. Never falls super low. Never falls.
And Chris with a K just cleaning up after that big EMP. People, and they just aren't able to stop him.
Chris with another pick. Tracer with the God Killer. And it looks like, oh wait. Okay.
Oh.
And it looks like they get it.
They're not going to get a touch. And Montreal finishing with more time than KCC there. A really good attack.
Score.
Interesting that the Tracer, Lucio, and Mercy works.
Yeah.
I think it was
I mean-
mainly working because they were just damage boosting the Pharah, and Ryan was just kind of holding shield until they just kind of healed him as necessary. So as long as Ryan could live, he was fine.
Yep. And Booger Bear doing a very good job to recognize that and not just keep holding W.
Yeah.
As some Reinhardt players, me, probably would have done.
Ready for battle.
I think you're lucky stars you have me in Squirms as your backline, man.
Uh-huh. That's why I'm not playing Ryan too much no more, buddy. Here we go. 1:34 to 1 minute. Let's see. 34 seconds isn't a huge amount of time, but Montreal will take any amount of time, and it looks like Chris with a K actually just opting to go to the Widowmaker instead of Parasite here. Meanwhile, God Killer sticking with the Sombra, and it looks like KCC sticking with their regular team comp, except Janitor's on Juno now. I believe he wasn't playing that before.
5, 4,
All right, and it looks
See if Chris with a
like
K can get anything done on this Widowmaker.
1. Attackers.
yeah, I don't think we've seen him usually play. I think it's usually Parasite that plays it.
The payload.
It is definitely usually Parasite that plays this character. And immediately gets walled off. As Booger Bear stands tall on this high ground where the Widowmaker is usually playing. Oh, but Chris falling really low to the Ana. Oh, and Parasite and Asura Sakura following almost simultaneously here. And Booger Bear's next.
Big picks.
30 seconds.
And it looks like
That's
Montreal,
you get
the
that first
remaining
choke.
Yeah, the remaining members of Montreal just need to fall back.
I mean, that's a big win on that first choke. This is notoriously hard to push, and they kind of pushed it in like within like 30 seconds.
The Reinhardt is back.
See,
And
they have about
prepared
10
to
seconds.
hold here. Oh, Booger Bear not able to put the shield up in time to block the hack, but
He does for the Sigma Rock. And they're in overtime now.
oh,
They
and he's
gotta-
probably looking for a pin off the map, isn't able to get it. Fire strikes into the hands, which is going to give Sig a decent amount of
Oh,
health.
Booger Bear falls, and so does Parasite. And Chris with the K and Tracer trying to touch. Sakura's trying to res.
Sakura going for
It's
the
the
last
res.
minute res.
It's
Yes,
res.
she gets it.
That's big.
Oh, but
he
Booger
gets
Bear going to get
yankeed.
purple and is just going to fall almost immediately, it seems.
Yep, and they get first.
And all that
Let's beat him.
stalling was for naught.
This is an uphill battle for Montreal.
Absolutely,
But
Montreal needs to regroup and refigure out what they want to do. Yeah, Chris with a K swapping off of the Widowmaker onto the Mei. Oh, God Killer on Bastion now though.
excuse me for the pun, but
That's
it
a little bit
makes
spooky,
sense.
especially with the low amount of heals that they have on this team comp. Bastion able to do Bastion and Junkrat both combining to do a lot of damage.
Oh, here's the tire.
Oh, and here comes a Never ult. Oh, it's not gonna find anybody though.
Chris,
But Booger Bear falls really low. Here comes a beat, but Booger Bear dies just before the beat goes off.
that's unfortunate. Sakura gets slept. Sakura
Oh, and
falls.
Sakura gets slept out of the res. And the thing seems just slipping out of hand for Montreal here.
KCC looks like they're gonna get this unless they can touch. It doesn't look like it. They get the 2. This is a very, very uphill battle.
Parasite
for
falls
MTL.
early.
I mean, they have what, 3, almost 4 ults. MTL has 1, almost.
Yeah,
Maybe.
MTL's been swapping a lot.
They
Just trying to
need
find,
something.
desperately trying to find something that works.
But even if they do, they need to get 2 points worth. But let's see what they do now. They gotta get them off first. There's a Sigma ult.
And here comes Sigma
There's-
ult and Bastion ult.
Booger falls.
Booger falling to the Bastion ult.
Chris falls.
Is KCC gonna full push
This is
on a minute time bank?
This is insane. We're watching history here.
You're covered.
I don't think it's that. I think this has been done before, but you know, this
I mean,
is a
Emerald,
crazy.
what-
This is a crazy push in Emerald. Maybe not. Probably.
We haven't seen an
Probably
Emerald.
one of the years we weren't here.
I
But
know Baltimore did it.
oh, here comes the Parasite.
Oh,
He gets booped out of the shatter, and that gives
Juno ult coming
Soup
online.
enough time to put up the shield.
Booger gets
Tracer Razor
rezzed, though.
falls to the random mine. Booger does get rezzed,
He gets
but how much is that really going to mean here? He gets
Antied.
antied. Here comes a male.
Booger does get it. He gets.
Looks like it's going to get much, and that's a big nano.
they do
Oh, they
get-
see blind.
Well, they pushed him off far enough.
Or they
But
pushed him off, yeah, I guess, but
Math
Score.
in
Oh,
one push.
they
in 1
almost
minute.
pushed a 3.
Switching sides.
They almost pushed to get 6 points.
Initiating.
Unfortunately, it was not meant to be, but that is a big push for KCC. And now Montreal is going to have to try and match that if they want to keep this match going.
And in Sauce Pan, it said, "Walk him down, Soup." Yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah. Oh, and that would have been such a big nano too, because the nano just saved
Soup, all right, Soup. Yeah.
from a gun in each hand
And
and
a
a
smile
smile
on-
on my face. Booger Bear swabs to the Mauga.
Well, they need to push as
Fucking-
far. I mean, Soup is on the Sigma. We'll see how that goes for him, but it's not really a counter Sigma against Maga right now. But
That a compliment?
I
against
think
Long
Booger
Brown,
Bear's just looking to
definitely.
live, but we do have a completely different heal comp coming out as well. We have Tracer Racer on the Kiriko and Asura Sakura on the Ana.
Yeah, definitely. The Lucio Mercy wasn't working for that longer sustained fight.
Not for the defense. I think it was fine for attack. It was working fine for them on attack, but as soon as it came to defense and they had to sustain more, it became a huge problem.
Yeah. And unless you kill everybody instantly every fight, it's not gonna. I don't think it will work. And in order for that to work, you have to have insanely good comms and hope that they don't pop ults and you do everything right, which is just not realistic.
Parasite's also on the venture here.
We'll see.
Here comes the Bastion in turret form, scaring Chris off. And Booger Bear kind of just playing.
Booger Bear got antied.
Playing really carefully, gets antied.
Let me balance you out.
And the Suzu doesn't come in to hit him, but he is going to get a
Man.
lot. Janitor falling really
Lap.
low to Chris with a K, but a big sleep is going to stop Booger Bear from being able to help out. And down goes Chris with a K. Oh, but a
early.
stun. Oh, but he's anti.
Booger Bear
He's not going
falls.
to be able to survive. He's not going to be able to survive a Bastion in turret form.
Booger Bear opts to swap
Booger
to
Bear
Ram.
immediately swapping to Ramatra, Parasite onto the Genji.
I think this is a smart swap.
I think
mean,
Montreal's just desperate to find something, anything that'll work. And Ramatra is a very common counter against Sigma, but okay, Genji does force out Bastion turret, but Booger Bear gets trapped. And is forced to just sit and block for a moment.
He walks.
The trap goes down,
forward,
Soup falls
punching-
really low, but
punching on the Soup. His form runs out, and they're in overtime. And now, the daunting task of pushing it all the way.
it's a daunting task. As Parasite gets
On the
rocked and
Nano.
falls. Here comes a Nano into Sig.
They're doing a really good job of trying to mitigating this.
Sig does have an ulti, and here it comes.
It's Ana does
It's
full half, but the
it's a
Suzu makes
really
it.
good Suzu.
But they have to force
But
the
Booger
first
Bear
off.
doesn't
They
get fall, and it
touch
doesn't
no.
look like they're gonna be able to
And
push up.
KCC 3-1, but only by a
3-1 against
forced
Montreal.
FF. Well, only
Yep.
by a forced FF.
Yeah, they like I said, we don't need this game.
We don't need it.
We'll
win it
take it anyway.
I mean, this
Some
is the
big plays
chatter.
coming out.
This is
Big
the
plays
bigger-
coming out from a lot of people. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough for Montreal.
And KCC does take it by storm. Unfortunately, I do not believe that's enough for them to make playoffs. And this is the last week.
No, I
But
think they are
it was-
eliminated.
But it's a good run, KCC. You did well. You ran it down. Won against one of the teams that are already going to make it into playoffs.
It was
Well
certainly an entertaining match. At the very least, they're making it fun to watch.
Yeah. They almost cross-mapped it.
Yeah, they almost yeah, that was a crazy push. But that's gonna be it from us. We will see you next time. This has been Storm and Dragon Master from Miami, the Miami cast, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.